This is Luis Gomez versus Tim Butterly. I am not 100% sure if they had any beef or anything like that. I think they just might have decided, hey, let's box. I guess Lewis is going to be boxing again. If he does, I hope he makes his way up to Boston so that we can do some training. That'd be really cool. But other than that, let's go. All right, here we go. So Tim is in the blue trunks and Lewis is the Puerto Rican guy. Sporting touch of the gloves. So right away, neither of them. Ooh, nice jab from Lewis. So pawing jab from Tim. Another jab from Lewis is deflected. Jab cross followed by a hook. I don't think any of those necessarily landed. Jab from Tim. Couple of probing jabs from Lewis. Jab from Tim. These guys are both looking pretty good right now. Level changing on the jabs from Tim. Yeah, they both definitely trained hard. They both definitely know what they're doing. Ooh, okay. So we have Lewis trying to pick his shots carefully. He tried to go around the guard, and then he tried to go through the guard. That was nice. So Tim makes his way in. Ooh, cross, and then he ends up ducking under the return hook. That was an interesting move from Tim. Nice little head movement from Tim. He ends up, I think he ended up catching that left hook from Lewis. Left hook from Lewis. It looks like it didn't quite get through. That jab got through. Jab from Tim. Jab cross from Lewis. Followed by an uppercut. Again, Lewis is trying to pick his shots, which is good. He's nice and calm. He's nice and poised. That's good. It's hard to be able to pick shots in a fight. Ooh, okay. Nice little half plum followed by an uppercut. Jab from Tim working his way in. I don't think that cross landed. Neither of those jabs landed either. So neither of them are really pushing the pace too much. They're just kind of trying to see what they can get away with. Nice uppercut from ooh, okay. So an uppercut to the body followed by a hook from Lewis. Jab from Tim followed by an overhand. Doesn't quite land. I don't think any of those landed from Lewis either. So what Lewis is doing, right, if you pay attention, he's kind of sitting there pawing with the jab to see what Tim does. And when Tim shells up, he starts trying to pick shots to place them through Tim's guard, which is really cool to see. Ooh, nice hook gets through from Lewis. Ooh, not sure if either of those landed, but I think the left hook might have. Jab from Lewis. Cross to the body. Tim almost ends up ducking into it. Jab from Lewis. Jab from Tim. Another jab from Lewis. Hook, followed by an uppercut, followed by a right hook. Yeah, Lewis is starting to Lewis is definitely getting real comfortable right now. Tim throws an overhand, doesn't quite land, almost gets caught with a hook. And that is round one. All right, so if I had to give that to anybody, it would be Lewis. It was pretty even from the start, but you just kind of saw Lewis starting to pull ahead. Like I said, he was picking shots in a he was picking shots in a. I have a lit candle and I thought I smelled something other than candle burning. Um, he was just able to pick his shots in a way that Tim was not. You could see that Tim looks a little bit outclassed right now. I don't know if he just needs to kind of loosen up a little bit and calm down, and maybe round two he'll end up coming out and he'll do his thing, he'll settle in. But they're both talented. They're both talented. They're both showing technical prowess. Neither of them are getting too antsy. They were feeling each other out, but also not making it boring. The feel out process of a lot of fights, especially 12-round fights, it can be really boring the first round or two because it's just two dudes who know they have a long fight ahead of them, so they're not really trying to throw too much. These guys were kind of feeling each other out while also keeping it a little bit action packed, so that was interesting. Good fight so far. Let's go ahead and see what round two has to offer. Yes, this is Gomez's bout. Oh yeah, I told you Lewis is legit. Lewis has hands in a way that people don't understand. Lewis has got hands in a real way, you know? All right, so here we go. Round 2. Jab to the body from Lewis, followed by to the top from Lewis as well. Now the jab doesn't quite get through. Tim just kind of waiting for a moment, I believe. Ooh, okay, that was a nice overhand right from Tim. Appeared to have landed. So a hook followed by another hook from Lewis after he works his way in with a couple of jabs. Jab to the body from Lewis. Jab from Tim, another jab. So Tim ends up fainting and then he moves in. What I think he has to do is he's got to kind of put his head in Lewis's chest, right? Really just make him uncomfortable and start working that body. Lewis ends up working his way in with a couple of jabs. Ooh, that was a nice little uppercut. I don't think it quite landed square, but I think it landed enough as to where it probably hurt him a little bit. Overhand from Lewis. Overhand from Tim. Ooh, okay. Look, I'm not 100% sure. I want to see if he does it again, but it looked like Lewis was pulling. Yeah, yeah. Lewis is playing games with the hands. He's pulling the hand down and seeing what he can get away with. That's really cool to see. So, oh man, overhand from Tim. I don't think it landed, but it gave him what he needed to kind of get out of the corner. You know, he ended up throwing the overhand, and then he starts walking into Lewis. Cross from Tim. It appears to have landed. Jab from Lewis. So overhand from Tim misses. Jab to the body from Lewis. Lewis has to be careful though because he kind of lowered his hands to catch the jab to the body. He can't make that mistake. Jab, followed by a couple more jabs. He bats the hand down and he throws a cross uppercut, and then there was a couple of hooks thrown in there that varying effect. Ooh, nice hook from Lewis. So what Tim's got to do is he's got to start playing with his ooh, nice cross to the body. Doesn't quite land, but it was nice looking. What Tim has to do if he wants to get back in this fight is he can't just keep walking forward and throwing one punch at a time. He's got to throw multiple. In addition to that, he's also got to start feinting a little bit, right? He's got to step forward, get the shoulder and the head into it. He's got to start throwing half punches, right, to get Lewis to try and counter, right? Either that or another thing he can do is he can try and turn it into a dogfight because Lewis right now, he's very technical. He's boxing at the end of it. You know, he's boxing. He's not turning this into a brawl, and that's because Lewis is a very good boxer. Oh, that was pretty nice. Lewis walking forward, throwing punches. So that's the end of round 2. What I was saying is Tim right now is kind of trying to box a little bit too much, right? And it's just not working out for him. Lewis is a very good boxer. I want to see if Tim can make this into a dogfight, right? If he can make it into a dogfight, he's going to be in really good shape. Because he's just too comfortable. He's in his element right now. You know, he's moisturized. He's unbothered. He's in his lane. All right. And it's just not working out for Tim at all. Lewis, I don't really have anything to say that is going to be like anything that he would even need to hear in this moment. You know, if I was in his corner, I'd just be like, hey, great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing. You know, I might sit here and be like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, Tim drops his hand when he throws his jab. He's throwing his right hand and he's dropping this hand and he's leaving his head on the center line. I might be pointing out things like that, but I'm not going to be sitting here talking to Lewis like, oh, what you need to do here, you're getting beat here, you're doing this wrong. Excuse me, you need to do a little bit. I'm just sitting here. It's in between round 2 and 3 of a boxing match, and I just burp in his fucking face. I'm like, you gotta fucking do this, bro. No, but I wouldn't have anything that I feel that he really needs to change, you know? And going into this third round, I'd basically say, look, just coast. The first 2 rounds were yours. That round was definitely Lewis's. If I had to give it to anybody, I would most certainly give it to Lewis. There's no question about it. No doubt about it. But yeah, so we're gonna see what ends up happening in round three. Maybe Tim can dazzle us a little bit. I happen to already know who ends up winning. I'm not gonna spoil it for you or anything like that, right? But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna see. Yeah. Hold on a second. Hold on. Right. So I don't know what this guy is telling Tim right now, right? I don't know what this guy is telling Tim right now, but given the body language and what I'm seeing, we're going to go ahead and check it out, right? It almost seems like he's saying, "Look, I want to see you faint. I want to see you fake like you're moving in, like you're about to do something, and then wait for him to throw back and then start throwing, right? I almost wonder if that's what's going on. You guys go ahead and pay attention to this gentleman right here, you know? All right, so here it is. Right here. You see how it looks like a little bit of head movement, but then every now and again he's moving forward, right? I wonder if that is him saying, "Hey, make sure you're not just walking straight in. Make sure you're making him bite on things that are not actually going to be there." That'd be interesting if that was what was said. All right, so round three. Here we go. Lewis is looking like he is absolutely zonked. All right. And here we go. Touching the gloves. So fake to the body from Lewis. Up top from Lewis, just kind of probing, seeing what's going to happen. Jab from Tim. Seems like it's kind of the same thing. It's almost like they're re-feeling each other out right now. They're not really going for it. And Tim, like I said, needs to go for it. I think, especially now more than ever, Tim really needs to turn this into a barroom brawl. He's got to land a knockout. He's got to score a knockout. You know, there's nothing he can do other than score the knockout. Even knocking him down is not going to be enough. If Lewis can just survive this round, the fight is his. Jab from Lewis. Nice little slapping hook from Lewis. I think it's just keeping him honest. Nice check hook. Doesn't quite land. So Lewis ends up fading back when Tim throws that long right, and he ends up throwing that check hook. It didn't quite land that time, but it is good. I like that. Lewis trying to pick his shots. Tim, you see that was a good move on Tim, because Tim ended up in the corner, right? If he was dumb, he would have just stayed in the corner, but he ended up walking Lewis out all the way into the other corner, which technically is not legal, but it got him out of the corner, and it's not like he got in trouble for it anyway, right? Ooh, nice uppercut. Splits the guard, followed by a right from Lewis. Jab to the body, followed by the head. Nice little right hand that I don't think quite landed. Tim coming back with a left hook and then a right, but he ends up catching a right hand on the way in. Nice little short left hook from Lewis. Jab. Jab to the body. Jab to the head. Uppercut. He's been hitting that uppercut the whole time. Whenever Tim ends up shelling up, he ends up splitting the guard with that uppercut. It's really cool to see. Tim, not sure what that move was. It's one of those Dylan Dennis moves. Overhand from Tim. Kind of sort of landed, but it looked like he kind of slipped off. That was a nice overhand from Tim. See, when Tim turns it into a barroom brawl, when he's just like, whatever, I'm moving in and I'm throwing ham hocks, right? You know, he has success, right? Like the last 10 to 15 seconds, I'd say Tim has been getting the better of it. You know, Lewis has been landing as well, but Tim has been landing more prominently, in my opinion, right? So there was another overhand from Tim. I believe it ended up landing. Another overhand. Another overhand doesn't quite land. Ooh, Lewis ends up landing a left hook. I don't know if the right hook he tried throwing landed. That was a nice little shot to the body from Lewis. Oh yeah, Lewis is just holding on right now. You can tell Lewis just is like, I gotta get through this last minute and I'm good. Nice short right hand. Nice short right hand to finish it all off, and we are done. So, I mean, if I had to give that last round to anybody, I think that was actually a much closer round than round two, but I still feel like it's Lewis's round. You know, Tim definitely had a really good couple of moments, right? He had a really good 15 to 20 second interval in that round where he was landing his overhand right basically every time he threw it. But you don't win a 2 to 3 minute round. I believe it's 2 minute rounds. You don't win a 2 minute round off of 15 to 20 seconds. You know, you win it off of controlling most of the round, right? And 15 to 20 seconds out of 2 minutes is that's it's not quite, you know, not quite. Yeah, Lewis ended up winning. Hard fought battle on both of their ends, but Lewis, like, it's no question. You know, he was well deserved. He controlled basically the whole fight. You saw the technical prowess. You saw the way that he was able to just sort of remain calm and pick shots. You know, he was able to decide when and where he was trying to throw. He wasn't just throwing like everything he could wherever he felt like he could land. He was making sure to see, okay, so he's shelled up here, there's space here, uppercut, right? Like I said, he was landing that uppercut to split the guard pretty much the entire fight. I really liked that. He was also throwing pretty good right hooks as well. A lot of those didn't land, but I just liked seeing them because it was an intelligent move on his part. You know, he was trying to go around the guard and go like for the ear or like the not the back of the head, but behind the ear, because you are legally allowed to hit here, right? He was just able to impose his will throughout basically the entire fight, and that's what gave it to him at the end of the day.